I'd like to say hi and happy Monday to everybody. We're just going to wait a few minutes for everyone to join us, and then we'll begin with our exciting launch. It is a very rainy morning here in the GTA, so welcome to everyone near and far across Canada. It is Monday, April the 27th. And today we'll be launching our blemiderm, which is our new medical solution for oily acneic skins. It is now 12:01 Toronto time, so we'll just give everyone else a few more minutes to get in here, and then we will start the webinar for today. As a reminder, if you do have any questions during our seminar, please just put them in the chat box and I will be able to answer you here. Of course, if you do want an online session to go through more of the protocols of our new blemiderm, we can do that as well. Today, we're going to talk about the wonderfulness of it. So welcome everybody. So I'm just gonna get here comes some more people. I'm gonna share my screen. Excellent. And of course, for those French speaking Canadians out there, we do have our PowerPoint assistance with the closed captioning here in French. My apologies if there are any words that they misspeak, including blemiderm, which is our new name. So welcome everyone to the future of medical innovation. We are Nuvior Medical Innovation, and we are here to help you grow. We are a fast-growing company ourselves. We're at that point where we're a little company getting really big, and it is very exciting. We have a lot of new launches coming up, including today's. So before we begin, let us meet our brands here at Nuvior. We have our 6-time winning lifting method. This is a beautiful system for doctors and medical professionals looking for an alternative to that one thread that's available out there. We are very anxiously waiting the Canadian regulator bodies of Health Canada to approve it later this year. And we are excited to present Fedia, our disposable high tissue PRP device that allows you to obtain the highest quality and concentration of plasma available on the Canadian market. It too is a winner of the Aesthetic Medicine World Congress for Regenerative Care. And of course, we at Nuvior want to be your one-stop shop. So look at our offerings for medical supplies. If there's something there that you want and can't find, let one of the Nuvior team know. We will source it out for you. And we will also ensure that you get the best pricing available to you. And our two medical lines, Dermaceutic Laboratory, born from the minds of French dermatologists and other skin professionals. They are now the #1 heel company in France, and they offer a beautiful range of home care products that support all your devices. Whether you're using light-based or rejuvenation machines, they will be able to prep that skin, treat that skin immediately post-treatment, and enhance and accelerate those results with post-treatment care. And the company we're speaking about today, Mesoaesthetic. They are the market leader in the field of medical cosmetics in the world. And it's because of their commitment to providing effective solutions for all skin conditions and phototypes that are created and backed in science. And I'm Pina Lee, your clinical educator here at Nubior, and I love to share my knowledge and empower you with everything Nubior. So without any further ado, welcome to blemiderm, a solution to free the skin from blemishes from mesoaesthetics. Now, this is still a professional product, and it is for blemishes. So we've changed the word acne when we speak about acneic lesions. And with mesocytic, we're going with blemiderm. So let's talk about this heated skin condition that 9.4% of the world's population is affected by. It is affecting over 80% of people in Canada who are in the age range of 12 to 24 years old. They suffer with some form of acne. And over 5 million Canadians, that's nearly 20% of that population, will suffer with some form of acne in their lifetime. And 20% of Canadians that are adults experience acne. So this is something that it doesn't matter what color you are, how old you are, it does play a huge impact in our lives. Now, as newborns, we have things like, cradle cap and those melias and dermatitises that we get from seborrheic dermatitis that is transferred hormonally when babies are born. Even one of my own children had a breakout as a newborn. And then, of course, the most frequent breakout of acne condition is in our youth when we're going into puberty and our hormones are in overdrive, producing so much more of that enzymes and proteins that produce oil in the skin. And then when we get older, frequently in women, just because our hormones are like a roller coaster ride at an amusement park, but we go through bouts of adult acne all the way into menopause. And of course, like everything, it's all or nothing. We're getting ready, we're excited, we're anxious about some events or a big change in our life. And of course, we wake up with acne. And that all has to do with our hormones and all the different factors that relate in life. But not only does acne impact us physically, giving us textural issues and lesions, but it is a huge social impact and psycho-emotional impact. I myself came into aesthetics because of my own acne issues. In my mid 20s, hormones, food sensitivities, and conditions of my skin caused me to have severe acne, and why I pursued a beautiful career in aesthetics. So, coming from someone who's suffered from acne, this skin condition can alter your life and not in a good way. So, when we look at acne, there are different degrees of severity. Of course, we have our grading system, pre-acne or, congested skin all the way to grade 4. But when we talk about and describe the conditions of that skin, an acne-prone skin doesn't necessarily have acne, but it is a combination skin or very oily skin with excessive sebum production. Usually it tends to be in that T zone area where we have more of those beautiful sebaceous glands. And it involves that thickening and irregular texture of the skin because of all those hyperkeratinized cells, those indifferentiated cells that accumulate on the skin. And of course, large, dilated pores looking like canyons that just make the skin look less smooth and less refined. And then, yes, of course, they may get that occasional little localized temporary lesion, but an acne prone, oily skin is one type that less severe. And then, of course, acne is like a ball on a hill rolling down. Once it starts, it's very hard to stop. It accumulates and gets bigger and more complex. And when we're dealing with an active acne skin, we're looking at a skin that is very oily. They're not dry skin. They may be dehydrated, but they have a lot of sebaceous oil, seborrheic skin. So that whole face is oily. They still have that thick, excessive, irregular texture with those dilated visible pores, much larger than one who's just acne prone. And then, of course, there will be that inflammatory and non inflammatory acne lesions. So your open and closed comedones with that grade 1 and 2 grade acne, and then that inflammatory lesion that's associated with the grade 3 and 4 acne grades, where you're having papules and pustules. Now, of course, acne is caused by bacteria, but there are many factors that contribute to the severity of acne and how it breaks out. Of course, you are what you eat. This is a machine and we fuel it with our food. So when we choose food items that are high on that glycation scale, high in processed and refined ingredients that this body cannot use or process, or high in dairy with those fats, it will tend to stimulate different acne pathways, including that hormonal one. Of course, that gut health is important. Now, in other parts of the world, as you may read, Meso does offer capsules that work on that gut microbia, that healthy gut. Unfortunately, here in Canada, we cannot offer that to you, but there are beautiful prebiotics that you can get from your foods. And then, of course, many people turn to strong medications and fast solutions, such as our isotretinoin, our Accutane. But this can lead to its own issues, and why estheticians as a group like to handle it with things such as heals and treatments rather than going to that extreme, because then we have to worry about our liver. 15% of patients on oral isotretinoin report problems with their liver functions and toxicity of that liver. And of course, it also affects them emotionally, it affects them physically and neuropsychologically. So let's talk about that phytosebaceous unit that causes all this issue. It is a very necessary part of the skin, and it is a collection of different structures within that dermis that it comes out of into the dermis. Of course, it includes that hair follicle with the hair shaft that lives in it, but it also includes that sebaceous gland where those sebocytes are that produce that beautiful sebum that lubricates and protects the skin. And it also has our little, erector pili muscle that's not illustrated here. And that's the muscle that activates that sebaceous gland. Now, this beautiful phytosebaceous unit is located in nearly every region of our skin, except, of course, the lips, the palms of our hands, and the soles of our feet. So with this unit, it provides all that lubrication for that skin, the slip, that beautiful texture, but it's also protecting us from other bacterias and invaders and even the elements. Now, when it comes to that path and creation of acne, there is, of course, your bacteria. Once called the P. acne virus bacteria, which was our propionic bacterium, it has been renamed and reclassified as the C. acne bacterium, which is our T bacterium. So what that is a natural cause, part of our microflora of the skin, and it stays on the outside of the skin and it protects us. Now, when we have that overproduction of skin cells, because that body goes into defense, it produces more oils when the hormones are activated, those factors of the food that we eat, the lack of water, and then that imbalance of that C. acne bacteria, that Cutibacterium acnes, causes a blockage in that opening of that follicle, and that buildup of those extra undifferentiated cells that caused from that, again, defensive action. Because the skin is going to go into defense. It's going to produce more oil. It's going to produce more of those skin cells because that's what it does. And it blocks that opening. And when the blockage occurs, oxygen cannot enter into that follicle. And now it's an anti-aerobic environment where bacteria can flourish. It eats the sebum and it's a vicious cycle. Inflammation, thickening of that skin, and then, of course, that bacteria. So when we're talking about targeting that acne before it gets down that slippery slope, this is the scope of treatment for our blemiderm. You will be able to do that inflamed and non-inflamed acne, including your open and closed comedones, commonly known as your whiteheads and your blackheads, as well as those pustules and papules and nodules. It will also prevent and control that post-inflammatory erythema, that redness that comes from acne. And of course, the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, especially in those higher photo skin types. And it also helps to prevent the scarring associated with acne lesions. And without any further ado, let me introduce you to the new blemiderm method. Enhancement in that in-clinic treatment. So now it involves two phases in clinic with our prepping solution as well as that blemiderm mask. There is an innovation of our formulas with very highly active ingredients, a new system that delivers those ingredients to that targeted area called our transepisomes. And we've got the science, as always, Meso doesn't stop at just creation. It backs it with science, with their clinical trials, in vitro and in vivo studies. So it's a comprehensive method now that includes a professional treatment and a home care. So, of course, our professional blemiderm pack does involve your professional in clinic treatment. But of course, like anything, in clinic gives you 20% of your tangible results. That home treatments, that ritual in morning and the evening where we tend to our skin is going to give us that other 80% support. Just like going to the dentist twice a year compared to brushing your teeth twice to three times a day. So we have that Blemi pack for that intensive correction to also deliver that home pack to start that regulating. We have the products to support at home and also to prevent. So this is replacing our acne pack method. Acne Land was a beautiful treatment and helped millions around the world, but now evolution has brought us this. So in every blemiderm pack, as you see, you will still have your professional treatments, but now there will be a home pack that you give to your patient to start their treatment at home. And of course, as always, we do deliver with results. It is going to be one treatment, and then they're going to use their home care for 90 days. And this is going to help regulate that sebation production and regulate that hyperkeratinization tendency of the skin. And of course, controlling that bacteria. And we're doing this with our brand new complex called Blemisome Complex. And it is got this encapsulation that gives it a driving system that takes it down to those target areas, stabilized and viable to do the job where it needs to be done. And this gorgeous complex includes neem oil, which is going to, of course, be an anti inflammatory, a gorgeous antioxidant, retinol, beautiful for skin renewal, for inhibiting that pigmentation, and exonol, which is a gorgeous ingredient that's going to, again, help with that inflammation. All this beautiful complex is going to control those hormonal pathways, controlling that regulation and stability of that skin and the sebaceous gland. So there's gone a lot of science into it. The structure remains the same. You do get three beautiful treatments for each patient within that blemiderm package. It still consists of the three individual treatments. In this case, now it's two phases with the blemiderm pre-peel and the blemiderm mask, plus one post-peel neutralizing spray. Now, it is available on its own still. So, as you know, I like to have a lot of that on hand. And as I mentioned earlier, that blemiderm pack now comes with our blemiderm home pack. And within that, you're going to get your purifying mousse plus a blemiderm treatment. So the blemiderm treatment is replacing the acne one. So let's meet the new stars of the blemiderm protocol. We have our blemiderm pre-peel solution, and this is your keratolytic. So this is going to do the exfoliating part of the treatment. It is going to reduce that hyperkeratinization of that epidermis. It's going to assist in unclogging those openings and follicles and the pores and allow the active ingredients of the blemiderm mask to penetrate deeper into the skin. And like any treatment, the better prepared that epidermis is, the better penetration you can receive with your actives. So this is going to also help to eliminate the excess sebum in the skin, as well as regulating the production of the sebum. promoting that epidural renewal process and stimulating collagen and elastin within that dermis. And here are some of the beautiful ingredients. Of course, you've got your Blemizone complex that has your retinol with your neem oil. And it also includes your bakuchiol, which is the plant form of retinol, much more gentle, gives you the same effects without the effects of the redness and irritation. Salicylic, that spicy little acid in the BHAs, that of course is going to hyperkeratinize and seboregulate. And mandelic, that AHA that is besties with your salicylic, a larger molecule, more gentle on those sensitive skins, but does help with the exfoliating and the hyperkeratinizing plus that sebum regulation. Phytic acid for brightening and exfoliating, of course, glycolic, and your caffeine and your succinic. So these are also going to help with that renewal process, and they're antioxidizing, so protecting, stimulating, and renewing that skin. Once that first phase is completed with the pre-peel exfoliating solution, we move to that intensive corrective mask with the blemiderm mask. And this is your clay mask. It is made with the kaolin. It is going to be that intensive mask. It is going to reduce that hair keratinization, unblock those openings, eliminate that excess sebum, regulate that oil production, act on those different pathways of that acne forming um, protocol, and of course, reduce the swelling and the inflammation of those active lesions. And with that Blemizone complex, those beautiful ingredients are going to be driven down to the area that they need to be. This gorgeous mask, of course, as I said, has that Blemizone complex. It also has pyruvic acid. And if you use our Mesoprof solutions for microneedling, you will be familiar with our pyruvic acid and how wonderful it is for that oily acneic skin. We also have mandelic and salicylic with your kaolin and your sulfur. So a gorgeous blend of acids and ingredients that are going to do a beautiful job on all those grades of acne. And of course, we also have that post-heal neutralizing spray with that sodium bicarbonate, but that's got that aloe extract that gives it such a beautiful conditioning effect to the skin, soothing, rebalancing, and neutralizing the peel. So with the new improved acne treatment here with blemiderm, the cycle is and continues 3 treatments for your client, and the treatments are spaced 15 days apart. Then they can start, if their skin is ready, they can start with that purifying mousse that comes in their home pack. If their skin is still red and a little irritated, then just water and moisturizers. Then, of course, in 24 to 48 hours after recovering from that in-office treatment, they can begin with their blemiderm treatment, their actives that they will use. Now, when you're treating acne, think of it as a 90-day treatment cycle. So it's a treatment cycle of 90 days that will include their 3 treatments plus their home care. Now, if at the end of their treatment cycle, you notice that it's still persistent. Unlike the other formulation in acne land, you don't need to do another full series of 3 treatments. If that treatment is still, or sorry, that skin is still resistant, then extend their series to 4 treatments. And you can do up to 2 complete cycles, so 2 90-day cycles within 1 year. So this is a very powerful treatment. It is designed to get beautiful results. And with 3 should be enough, but in those rare cases, you can always add the 4th session. So here's what it looks like. So it gives you a little bit more visual. You'll start now. I always, of course, start pre-treating the skin before any in-office treatment to get that skin used to the formulas and ingredients, to get that skin starting before you don't just go to a dentist, you clean your teeth at home. So we do have the solutions in our hydrating as well as our blemiderm and our cleansing solutions to support the skin. And in office, they'll have their treatments 15 days apart. And of course, they do get their purifying mousse and their blemiderm treatment within that blemiderm pack. And for the redness and the irritation, we do suggest the skin balance. It is the 911. This is for all sensitive, sensitized skin. It should be in everyone's back bar and in any skin's bathroom. And then, of course, hydration. We need hydration. I don't care how oily you are. Water and oil are 2 very different elements. So as we get the skin going on these gorgeous treatments, it will dry out that skin. It will exhaust that skin for working so hard. Remember, when we change skin, we're butterflies changing outside the chrysalis. So that skin's going to need hydration. So for that support, we've got the skin balance. And of course, my favorite, the Hydrovital Light or HA Dens and HS. So at home, there are specific products in the blemiderm line. Again, the ingredients have been reinvented. They all have that Blemi Clear complex in the home products. And the 3 main hitters here are our blemiderm treatment that comes in your home care product. This is for correction, active acne. It is going to regulate and correct lesions. For prevention and maintenance, or for those that are just acne prone, we have our blemiderm resurfacing gel. And of course, you always need a local spot treater. So our imperfection control has been revamped and relaunched as our blemiderm local control. So this is going to be for those localized corrections. And as I said, our new beautiful complex for the home care products is our Blemi Clear Complex. It is a gorgeous compilation of green tea and a beautiful plant from Australia that these gorgeous bioflavonoids that are going to help with controlling that hormonal production and increase of those enzymes. It is going to help with that bacteria and the balancing of that microbe at the surface of the skin, making sure that we control that C. acne bacteria. And of course, it's got that inflammatory action with the beautiful green tea. It's going to reduce those main enzymes that inflame the skin when the skin is in trauma. And it's also going to regulate that sebum production in the skin. So taking care of all those different factors that contribute to the severity of acne. And of course, other beautiful ingredients that are in our blemiderm solutions for home use include azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is gorgeous. It helps with inflammation. It helps with sebum. It helps with antibacterial and even redness in the skin. We've got our retinol that has been liposomed, which means it is encapsulated to drive itself where it needs to go. And of course, we have other inflammatory acting ingredients such as our enzoline, which is beautiful. It's a gorgeous antioxidant that brings down inflammation. Add in our AHAs like glycolic and mandelic, our BHA in our form as salicylic acid, and also our poly or PHAs with our gluconate lactate. So these beautiful ingredients, including shikemic, are going to work together to do all those multi-factors of acne. So when you're positioning the products for the various types and severities of acne, everyone's going to use that purifying mousse, which is going to be their daily cleanser. For that active acne, we're going to go with the blemiderm treatment that comes in the kit. But for someone who is just acne prone and oily, then the blemiderm resurfacing gel will be enough. And of course, for those pop-up lesions, we have the blemiderm local control. But let's take a closer look of these gorgeous ingredients. The blemiderm treatment, as I said, this comes in the home pack of blemiderm pack, and it is available on its own for pre-treatment and post. This, of course, has your retinol, your azelaic, and your beautiful acids. It will be used only at night once a day. So from the acne one, it now has improved ingredients. It still has your mandelic and your salicylic. It has your shikemic, but now it has that retinol. It's got that beautiful azelaic, and it's beautiful on the skin. That formerly known imperfection control has been relaunched as blemiderm local control. It again, use this for those inflamed lesions. This is very highly concentrated. It's just a 10 ml tube. So use it just directly on those inflamed papules and pustules. It will bring it right down with that gorgeous Australian plant, the Maclera, as well as with that green tea and the niacinamide. It's just going to be beautiful on that skin. And for those oily skins, as we said, you may have remembered the pre-peel resurfacing gel, resurfacing pre-peel booster. This is its acneic sister, the one that you're going to use for that oily acneic prone skin. So it is in the acne blemish solution range with that beautiful green. It is going to renew that skin, refine those pores, and purify that skin. Now, if you have a skin that is extremely acneic and oily, they can use this in addition to, like they can use it every 2 to 3 nights. Some people can use it up to nightly. It depends what they need. So listen to the skin because it can overdry the skin with overuse. Of course, our purifying mousse. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous mousse for the skin. It comes in a beautiful pump. It does give you that antiseptic feel, but it doesn't dry out the skin. It's got that lactic acid that's going to help to hydrate and lighten the skin. It also helps, of course, exfoliate. And then with that salicylic acid, you've got the beautiful pre and postbiotics for that bacterial flora on the surface of the skin, and our urban detox formula, which is always going to help protect that skin from the environment and from pollution. So that is their daily cleanser. Then, of course, when you use it, you can use it day and or night, depending on how much they need it. It does have a beautiful freshening sensation because it does have the menthol. And of course, it's suitable for all your oily and acne or acne prone skin. The Pure Renewing Mask, you may necessarily not need it during the blemiderm treatments. However, pre and post series, these are beautiful. And again, if that skin really needs it, as long as they can take that extra exfoliation, that skin may use it too. So if you don't know the purifying, our Pure Renewing Mask, it's a gorgeous, intensive, purifying mask. And that's why you may not necessarily need it while they're in clinic treatments, because this is going to do more exfoliation. It's going to give you 10% concentration of kaolin to remove that excess sebum. But what I love about this mask, not only can you wear it up to 10, 15 minutes on the skin, however, it's got those cellular particles in it. So once you've worn it as a mask for those skins with a lot of blackheads and clogged pores, this is beautiful because when you wet your fingers and add it to the water, to the mask, it now becomes a scrub. So it's a great way to clean inside those pores. So for that acne, ouchy face, they can just rinse it off simply with water. But for those skins that want to do a little bit of scrubbing, they can get in there and use those cellular particles to exfoliate and unclog those skins. So great for someone that suffers from ingrown hairs, from shaving. It is absolutely gorgeous. And it is available in your pro and home size. So they'll use it at home once to twice a week. And of course, in office, it's beautiful for treatments. And as I said, you need to support that skin. When you're asking skin to go over time and do a change, in this case, correct and regulate the sebaceous area, we need to keep that skin hydrated. Depending on the skin and the gender, men and more oily skins or thicker skins tend to like something that's going to be light, easily absorbed. Not that both of them aren't, but lighter on the skin. And the idea of a serum is that answer for them. I love HA Benzamatrix. It's got those 4 types of hyaluronic acid that are going to heal and hydrate and regenerate that skin. And then, of course, the Hydrovital Light, which is the choice hydrating cream for that oily skin. It gives them 24 hours of hydration. Plus, it's a fresh gel cream, so it's light and easily absorbable. Now, in the rest of the world, we have that mineral matte and fingers crossed in Canada soon. But of course, when you're using such strong and exfoliating ingredients, that skin does need protection and a high sunscreen at that. So this brings us to the end of our launch of blemiderm, and I do want to thank everyone for coming and listening to our new generation of solutions for acne that's going to address all those multiple and multitude of factors that create that acne lesion. It's going to clean out the skin on all skin types. It is backed in science. We do have digital brochures available on our website for you to see more of. And of course, more information how to use it specifically. But in the meantime, I want to thank you. And if you do know anyone that's looking to pursue a career in aesthetics, we are hiring. We are hiring across the country. So please let me know or Sophia know if you know anyone. And again, I want to thank you for joining us. I'm Tina Lee. I can be reached by text, by WhatsApp, or by phone or email. And I want to thank you for joining us today.